Arthritis is often thought of as a disease that afflicts mostly older people, but nearly 300,000 children have been diagnosed with it. In fact, juvenile arthritis is the most common chronic illness in children, and it can often go undiagnosed. So here with what we need to know about it is Dr. Karen Onel. She is the chief of pediatric rheumatology at the Hospital for Special Surgery here in New York City. Thanks for joining us.
My pleasure.
I had said to you that I was kind of familiar with this because when I was in second grade, there was a little girl who could not cross her legs during story time when we had to sit down, and it was because she had arthritis. But I think a lot of people wouldn't know anything about this. Kids are going to be active during the summer. Sometimes you get growing pains or you hurt yourself. How can parents tell the difference between just regular soreness from running around and juvenile arthritis?
That is really tough, and I think a lot of times when people come into the office, they're shocked that kids get arthritis, that such a thing exists. But also they might feel guilty because they probably have thought that the child has growing pains and that they're basically fine. Exactly.
Shake it off.
Exactly. It's never normal for kids to have swollen joints. And it's easy, especially with little ones, they're always falling, and it's easy to sort of blame it on an injury. But the reality is that, especially little ones, don't fall hard enough, don't twist enough, so that they get swelling from an injury. So swelling is never normal. Stiffness, never normal. The kids wake up in the morning and they're so active, and it's like an on-off switch, but not kids with arthritis. The mornings are very, very difficult. And so the child, the little 2-year-old who used to run around, now suddenly wakes up in the morning and can't get out of the crib. Or they're not able to wake up in the middle of the night to go to the bathroom because they're too stiff and they wet themselves.
Oh, wow, that is fascinating. So, I mentioned that often it goes undiagnosed. What can parents do to advocate for their children?
That is such an important thing. I really think in many ways, one of the things that we have to teach our trainees is to listen to parents. Because nobody knows their children the way parents do. And when parents see that there's a change, a difference, even if it's something that the doctor might not be familiar with, they're the ones who know.
Yeah.
And so I think parents have to be key advocates for their kids, but also we have to make sure that we listen, and we're all guilty of that.
Yeah. I just think about how tough this must be for kids, because kids want to run around, they want to enjoy themselves. If a child is diagnosed with arthritis, is it something that they have to sort of endure for the rest of their life? Does it ever go away? Because the cause is different than, old people arthritis, which is basically we're just using our limbs, over a lifetime.
So we used to say that it went away pretty much for everybody, but that's probably not true. Probably about 40% of the kids have active arthritis into adulthood. But here's the big difference, the endure question. Because I've been doing this for a very long time, and it's very different now than it was. We have incredibly effective medications. So when people say, well, they have this forever, the answer is they may or may not. But on the medications, they'll be able to grow up and do everything they want to do. And really, the studies show that even 20 years down the road, even on medications, the kids are off there doing everything they can. One of my patients, his basketball team just won the state championships. And he sank 6 3-pointers.
Wow. God, that must mean so much to the parents who are listening to this conversation. Dr. Onel, thank you so much.
My pleasure.